Greetings, most worshipfuls, right worshipfuls, very worshipfuls, worshipful brothers, and every other brother that is present here today. I welcome you to the 163rd Annual Communication of the Most Worshipful Grand Lodge of Free Accepted Masons of Washington. I stand before you, humbled by the tremendous honor you have given me to serve as your Most Worshipful Grand Master of this Most Worshipful Grand Lodge. You all know me to be a man of deep and abiding faith, and it was with that confidence in the Grand Architect of the universe that has led me through this year once you elevated me to the Grand East. I thank you all for your trust, confidence, and continued support and encouragement. A year ago at my installation as your Grand Master, I made a pledge to every one of you that I would work diligently to earn the trust every single day. I pray now that I have lived up to my pledge to you and our beloved Masonic family. The Almighty truly knows how hard I have tried. My theme this year, "We are one Masonic family living united," is on target today so much more than ever before, as we are currently facing a dark period in our lives. But there is light at the end of the darkness if we as a Masonic family do not lose sight of who we are. This too will come to pass, and once again, we will be able to meet in our lodges and share that face-to-face fellowship we all so yearn for. The current Grand Lodge team that was elected by the members of Grand Lodge at the 162nd Annual Communication in Bremerton, Washington, reminds me of the outstanding air crews that supported the U-2 and the FR-71 programs that I was associated with while serving as a senior non-commissioned officer in the United States Air Force. The air crew, which I lovingly referred to as the Grand Lodge team, was assembled this year, consisted of Right Worshipful Chris Kaufman, Deputy Grand Master, who served as my co-pilot, one who knew well our flight manual, commonly referred to as the Washington Masonic Code, and kept me out of trouble. Right Worshipful Cameron Bailey, Senior Grand Warden, who served as our aircraft flight engineer, and was well versed in higher headquarters regulations and manuals, commonly referred to as the Revised Code of Washington State. Right Worshipful Ed Woods, Junior Grand Warden, who served as our loadmaster, a true technician. And finally, Right Worshipful Brother Clint Brown, Grand Secretary, who served as my team navigator, keeping me on my flight plan for the year. Right Worshipful Brother Clint kept me well informed of unscheduled course changes, allowing us to handle unexpected events like the sale of the MRC and cornerstone ceremonies in Quincy, where we laid 3 cornerstones during one ceremony. Our flight plan for the year charted a course for the air crew, our Grand Lodge team, to crisscross our jurisdiction in all directions over a 7-month period, while taking time off for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. The flight plan was designed to attend as many district meetings over any 2-day period as possible, with, for example, one meeting on a Friday evening, followed by one on a Saturday morning, and finally another on Saturday afternoon. My idea was to maximize the effort while reducing travel time and related expenses. Our flight plan was proceeding as scheduled until we returned home after completing the final district meetings in Eastern Washington on March 7th, when we unexpectedly ran into a deadly storm called COVID-19 and were ordered to cease all flight operations until further notice. The team still had 4 district meetings to accomplish in Western Washington, but the team was grounded and could not even travel by land. So the question arose as to how we were going to get these last 4 district meetings completed by the end of the 2019-2020 year. The aircrew came up with a plan to use virtual conferencing, Zoom. The deputies of the Grand Master were contacted, informed of the plan, and notified that each deputy of the Grand Master would oversee their respective meetings as if we were still going to do a face-to-face physical assembly. The members of the district would dial into Zoom from their home, since gatherings of any kind were not allowed at this time today. The district's meetings held on Zoom. On the first one, had 38 logged in, and by the last Zoom meeting in District 17, we had 56 members logged in. So what is the point that I'm trying to make by telling you this about this Grand Lodge team? It is very straightforward. I implemented a plan that was created prior to my installation as your Grand Master. And then the flight crew made necessary adjustments along the way, as any well-trained and educated air crew would do. There is an old saying in the military that when things get tough, the tough get going. If you do not plan for success and a plan that is flexible, then by default, you are planning for failure. The state of the craft. My brothers, 2 things strike me as the most enduring takeaways from my term. And those come directly from the lead, directly back to the brothers in every lodge. Those 2 things are commitment and flexibility. One great thing that helps define us as Freemasons is our commitment to each other, our lodges, our community, our nation, and of course, our families. I cannot remember a year that has been more directly challenging to our commitment than this one. We have learned on the fly how to learn on the fly, to continue our obligated Masonic labors individually and collectively. I could not be prouder of all of you for the fine and honorable way you have shown your Masonic commitment during our lockdowns, closures, shortages, and through community charity. No matter the curveballs thrown at you, you have handled them with honor, dignity, grace, and the finest demonstrations of your commitment to our values and our obligations. For that, you have my deepest respect. Another of our great virtues as Masons is our flexibility. When we have had to adapt to challenging situations and circumstances, every brother throughout the Grand Jurisdiction responded with understanding, cooperation, and unwavering support. Your flexibility shone brightly when we had to cease our gatherings to accommodate rules and requirements for social distancing, to do our parts for the general health and well-being of our entire state. We all learned quickly to use the best tools available to us, not just the convenient working tools of Masons, but the newest ones like Zoom, GoToMeetings, and other effective alternatives. It is our resilience and responsiveness that has helped our fraternity get to be more than 302 years old. It took your flexibility to achieve our labors in a new manner. Allow me to applaud all of you for your most excellent ability to find new ways to get things done. Yes, my brothers, these 2 things, commitment and flexibility on your part and ours as a fraternity will highlight my memories of this year. In my address to those present at Grand Lodge last year, I put forth 6 challenges for the craft to work on during the 2019-2020 year. I consider these to be achievable and measurable. My plan now is to report success or failure of these challenges in my closing remarks at this annual communication. The first challenge was to raise $40,000 to support the following Washington Masonic Charities programs: Distress Worthy Master Masons, Widows and Orphans, the youth program to keep children in school and not on the streets, and the Honor Flight program, for which I thank Most Worshipful Brother Jim Mendoza for creating. So how did we do? I am pleased to report when I wrote this, we were at $35,600 or 89% of our goal. I have been told now that we're up over 36,000 or about 91% of our goal. I applaud you, brothers, for that great effort. And that was accomplished without selling one pin, one tie, or one coin. The 5th challenge was to improve the outward appearance of our Masonic buildings. This was accomplished in great part in many ways. The final challenge was to improve the local ritual throughout the jurisdiction. To accomplish this challenge, we implemented both team competitions and individual competitions. The team components consisted of 3-person competition: the Worshipful Master, Senior Warden, Junior Warden teams for opening and closing on any and all degrees. Team membership was open to any Master Mason from the same lodge. Individual competitions consisted of the apron and geometry lectures and the traditional Senior Wardens competition. So how did we do? I am pleased to report that you exceeded my expectations, with 35 brothers participating from 10 districts and resulting in 5 out of the 8 regionals. And I was looking only for 4 out of 8, and you exceeded my expectations. I applaud you for that success. Well done. So how did we accomplish these challenges set forth in my installation address? Frankly, it was through a lot of dedicated efforts by every brother in every lodge in this grand jurisdiction. Grand Master's recommendation. Shortly after the closing of the 162nd annual communication on June 15, 2019, the following changes were made, and I'm not going to go into length on those, but these had to be made in order to realign a few districts. And if you want to see what those were, please do refer to my address. I sincerely hope these changes will strengthen Freemasonry as we move into an even brighter future. There are 7 Grand Masters recommendations that were to be considered at the annual communication as described in the resolution booklet. All of these resolutions will be carried over to the 164th annual communication, with the exception of the pre-announced resolution 2020-15 to amend Chapter 7 to enable to agree with the modification of the charitable purposes of the Home Fund and Masonic Endowment Fund, which you will hear about later. Under the good of the order, after my installation, I was informed that I would need to make a donation to the Bill P. Horn Memorial Medal Foundation. I asked why and was informed that the sale of the Grand Master's coin in the past was used to support the fund's program. I was shocked that this was the process for funding such a great program. I was led that for many years as I had served as a deputy of the Grand Master and being a member of the Grand Lodge team, that the proceeds from the sale of the Grand Master's coin went towards his charity. I suggest that this foundation be supported in a different manner and not depend upon the sale of the Grand Master's coin. Please refer to Section 8-26 of the bylaws, which states the purpose of the foundation, but does not address how it is to be funded into the future. The trustees of this foundation needs to come up with a better program to support their endeavors. The funding of special programs and projects needs to be more, pardon me, Deputy Grand Master, transparent. I recommend that the trustees of this fund, prior to the 164th annual communication, present a resolution showing how this fund will be financed going forward. Finally, my thanks to the entire Grand Lodge team for their service to our Grand Lodge and all the brothers. I could not have made it through the year without you. There is a brother who deserves my tremendous gratitude for helping me achieve all the works of my year, and that is Right Worshipful Brother Chris Kaufman, my Deputy Grand Master. Even while serving all of you in our Grand Lodge and me in my official capacity, he found the strength and faith to endure the tragic love of his beloved wife. Please be outstanding where you are and help me give him our warmest fraternal greetings with the public grand honors of Masonry. Brothers, join with me in giving this hardworking Deputy Grand Master, my brother, the public grand honors of my lead. A big round of applause. Thank you. Please be seated. Special thanks to my deputies of the Grand Master who worked so hard putting together the district meetings, providing some great meals and excellent fellowship. My deep gratitude also goes to those deputies of the Grand Master that went the extra mile in setting up the numerous cornerstone ceremonies presided over by your Grand Lodge team. The appointed officers who stepped forward when asked to serve during my term in office. A special thanks to those who made it to the numerous cornerstones. To the committee chairman and committee members who served during my term in office, a special thanks to the chairman who took on new roles during my term. A special thanks to the Grand Lodge staff members who put in long hours ensuring that the paperwork continued to flow in a timely manner and that reports were completed. The staff of Grand Lodge is the backbone of our great fraternity and needs to be recognized for giving 110% every day and in every way. They truly are making a difference in how Grand Lodge works. My thanks to the past Grand Masters who have served who have answered so many of my questions over the last 4 years and have given me due and timely counsel when I have asked for their advice. Now I hope I can get through this one. To my pillar of strength and soulmate, Lorraine, who has always been there at every turn, giving me her strength and her faith. To my wife of almost 19 years, Rainey, as I affectionately call her, thank you for everything. You are the best. In conclusion, I would close by saying that this year was not all about me, but about we. If you take the M in me, turn it upside down, the word you will now see says we, and we have the knowledge, the know-how, the power, and the strength to get things accomplished. Ask not what Freemasonry can do for you, but what can you do for Freemasonry? The greatest fraternity, the supreme architect of the universe ever created. Thank you for the great honor and privilege of allowing me to serve. For your faith, hope, and charity every day. And for your unending commitment to the oldest fraternal organization known to mankind. I genuinely love all of you as my brothers. And I ask the blessings of the Almighty on each of you and all those close to you. May God bless you. Keep you all and our beloved Grand Lodge of Free Accepted Masons of Washington safe. Amen. So mote it be. I refer my report to the Deputy Grand Master for acceptance.
And your report is accepted and it is referred to the trustee.
Thank you.